Hari ini kakak senang sekali karena kakak bisa bertemu kalian lagi. Tapi kakak perlu bantuan kalian untuk memecahkan misteri di dalam amplop ini. Apakah ini adalah amplop ucapan terima kasih atau sebuah hadiah spesial? Kakak menjadi gak damai sejahtera nih kids, karena khawatir ini adalah sesuatu yang berbahaya. Oke, kakak akan coba menebak apa ya yang ada di dalam sini. Apa kalian tahu? Kalau begitu, kita coba bukanya aja ya. Oh, ternyata di dalamnya ada stik es krim, lem, cutter, sama kertas. Tapi masalah selanjutnya, di dalam sini nggak ada instruksi harus dibuat apa benda-benda ini. Kita butuh solusi untuk masalah ini nih. Tapi sebelumnya kakak mau coba dulu deh mau membuatnya. Tapi sebelumnya jangan lupa ya, kita mau menyembah dan memuji Tuhan terlebih dahulu. Let's praise Him!
Jesus my rock, He rolls my blues away. He gave His life to make my days. Death has no power, He's risen from the grave. He is the winner, He makes me feel alive. Jesus my rock, He rolls my blues away. He gave His life to make my days. Death has no power, He's risen from the grave. He is the winner, He makes me feel alive. Let's have a party, party. It's the victory, Jesus He died and rose again for me. Just clap your hands, jump and turn your body. Let's have a party, party. He has set us free.
Jesus is the rock, the one and only. When He is around, I never feel lonely. I am alive because He set me free. Let's celebrate, today we got a party.
Jesus my rock, He rolls my blues away. He gave His life to make my days. Death has no power, He's risen from the grave. He is the winner, He makes me feel alive. Jesus my rock, He rolls my blues away. He gave His life to make my days. Death has no power, He's risen from the grave. He is the winner, He makes me feel alive. Let's have a party, party. It's the victory, Jesus He died and rose again for me. Just clap your hands, jump and turn your body. Let's have a party, party. He has set us free. Let's have a party, party. It's the victory, Jesus He died and rose again for me. Just clap your hands, jump and turn your body. Let's have a party, party. He has set us free. Let's have a party, party. He has set us free.
Kids, kita tahu bahwa kita perlu berdamai dan Dia sudah menjadi jembatan untuk perdamaian itu. Sehingga kita harus melakukan kebaikan seperti yang Tuhan buat. Ternyata setiap kebaikan yang kita perbuat dalam nama Tuhan akan membuat kita dikenal sebagai orang yang baik. Nah, ayatnya ada di Filipi 4 ayat 5. Hendaklah kebaikan hatimu diketahui semua orang. Tuhan sudah dekat. Kids, luar biasa banget ya. Ketika kita memberi dengan segenap hati, maka kebaikan hati kita akan diketahui semua orang dan nama Tuhan dipermuliakan. Hari ini kakak mau ajak kalian untuk memberikan persembahan sehingga semua tahu bahwa Tuhan itu baik dan kebaikan hati kita diketahui semua orang. Kalian siap untuk memberi? Sebelumnya mari kita berdoa. Tuhan, terima kasih karena Engkau begitu mengasihi kami. Sebentar kami akan memberikan persembahan kami sehingga semua orang tahu baikan hati kami dengan nama Tuhan dipermuliakan. Terima kasih Tuhan, dalam nama Tuhan Yesus kami berdoa. Amin. Selamat memberi semuanya.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story, inspired by the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 25.
God had promised David would be king, but for now, King Saul ruled Israel. David lived his life on the run, followed by a group of misfits who had become friends and servants. One day, they arrived in the desert of Paran, near the land of a wealthy man named Nabal, who owned 3,000 sheep.
We'll set up camp here, man.
At first, Nabal's servants didn't know what to think.
Too many strangers around these parts. We've had food and sheep go missing.
But David's men were honorable. They didn't try to steal from the shepherds. In fact, David protected Nabal's shepherds from any harm.
Stay as long as you like, my friend.
About time for sheep shearing, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Nabal will hold a grand feast when it's all over. Your men have helped us, so they should share in the celebration.
David called for 10 of his men and gave them a message to send to Nabal.
On it.
David's messengers hurried up the mountain to Nabal's estate and were brought to stand before him.
Well, what do you want?
Nabal sneered down at the men while he continued to chew on a fine leg of mutton.
David says, "May you live long. May things go well with you."
Continue.
He says, "I hear that you are clipping the wool off your sheep. When your shepherds were with us, we treated them well and protected them. Now please be kind to my men. Please give us any food you can find for us."
Nabal leapt from his seat and hurled the mutton bone across the room.
Who is this David? Probably a runaway servant. Why should I give bread and meat to a nobody and his men who come from who knows where?
David's men returned to camp and delivered the news.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Oh, yes, he did.
Men, put on your swords. We'll make Nabal wish he hadn't.
At no time at all, David and 400 of his men were marching up the mountain to confront Nabal. It seemed there was no stopping a battle. But Nabal's wife, Abigail, was far wiser than her husband. A servant told her what he had done.
David sent messengers asking for food, but Nabal shouted and was rude to them.
Go on.
The whole time we were near them, David's men were good to us. They were like a wall, keeping us safe. You've got to do something now, or terrible trouble will come.
There's no time to waste.
Abigail quickly directed her servants to gather supplies and put them on donkeys.
200 loaves of bread,
Check.
5 sheep,
Check.
1 bushel of cooked grain,
Check.
100 cakes of raisins, and 200 cakes of figs.
Check. And check.
Well, you go on ahead. I'll follow.
The donkeys, loaded with good food, started down the mountain. Abigail got on her donkey and followed. From the valley, David and his men were approaching.
Everything we've done has been worthless. I watched over this fellow's property, but he's paid me back evil for good. We'll wipe him out.
As David's anger grew, though, he spotted something along the path. A pack of donkeys.
What's this?
Well, it looks like they're carrying something. Food for a feast, I'd say.
Behind the pack of donkeys, Abigail prepared for what lay ahead.
I must stop this.
The moment Abigail saw David, she slid off her donkey and fell face down on the ground before his feet.
Please, let me speak. Let me take the blame for Nabal's actions.
Abigail raised her eyes just enough to notice David's surprised face. He nodded.
Don't pay attention to Nabal. He's always doing foolish things. I'm sorry I didn't get to see your messengers, but I've brought a gift for you. Right now, the Lord has kept you from killing Nabal and his men. Let the Lord deal with your enemies.
Abigail rose to her feet. David and his men listened, surprised by the strength of her message.
You fight the Lord's battles, so he will give your family line a kingdom that will last. He'll make you ruler of Israel. And when he does, you won't have a heavy load on your mind about killing people with no reason. The Lord will give you success. When that happens, please remember me.
Abigail took a deep breath and waited. David smiled.
Give praise to the Lord. He sent you to find me. May he bless you for this. You have kept me from using my own hands to get even.
David's men unloaded the food that Abigail had brought.
Go home in peace. I'll do what you have asked.
Abigail made her way back up the hillside to her home. She had chosen to humble herself and do the hard yet creative work of making peace. In the end, Nabal paid the high price for his foolish anger, but God blessed Abigail.
Wow, cerita tadi sangat luar biasa ya. Dari perdebatan, maka kita tahu jika ada orang yang sedang mengalami perdebatan, maka kita harus menjadi damai dan memberikan solusi atas masalah orang lain. Jadi, hal yang perlu diingat hari ini adalah you can show you care about others by being part of the solution. Tuhan selalu punya rencana untuk membuat damai dengan kita. Nah, misteri amplop tadi sudah jadi jembatan, kids. Nih, ayo kita rayakan kebangkitan Tuhan karena Dia hidup dengan menjadi damai, jembatan dan solusi seperti Yesus. Bye, kids.